Welcome to the 30K channel. I'm your host David, and again we are back with Julian and Boris for their third part of JANUSSEN'S Hope. Gentlemen, where are we right now?
After, two great missions, the Night Lords took the first. The White Scars, in a petty act of vengeance, have sabotaged the facility, brutally destroying the reactors, and the whole thing is now crumbling around us. Everything's about to explode, and it's a race against time to get out.
Jeez.
We've just this is just simply titled Escape, basically. So it's a custom mission, and effectively we have two long corridors that culminate in a single exit, and both sides just have to get out. So you get a single victory point for every unit that escapes off that board edge. If the unit's fallen back, you don't get it. If it's dead, you don't get it. You don't get any points for killing. There is Warlord as a secondary. There's no First Blood. And other than that, you basically have to get off. So obviously we're both running towards the same exit, and we have to decide if we want to turn and fight and stop the other side, or abandon that and run. Added a bit of incentive, as it were. Effectively, from turn 2, there's going to be a wave of crushing rocks as the reactors go critical behind us, and a wave of the ceiling coming in behind us, basically. So from the second turn, 6 inches on, will just collapse. The ceiling will collapse, and that will become impassable terrain. And any model, not unit, any model under it will just die. There's no roll. There's no. It's not. We were tempted to use the collapsing rule from Zone Mortalis, but it's a bit complicated, and you got to place blood.
It's more random, isn't it?
Yeah, more random, and you get to sort of do it to each other. So it wasn't really worth it.
It's more adversarial that way.
Yeah, this is just it's both sides of the corridor. It's just collapsing. So turn 2, it's 0 to 6 inches. Turn 3, 6 to 12, and it will just advance up the board. So we are forced to run, and if we turn, and if there are any long, protracted, drawn out combats. They might buried. Yeah, they might just be fighting as the walls come down on top of them, quite literally. Very heresy, sort of stabbing at each other out of spite till we both die. So yeah, that's the mission. I've scouted one unit with a Vigilator, and the Sneaky Night Lords have infiltrated a unit right up the other end of the board. But I think probably won't be just running them off the board. Probably use them as a doorstop.
No, there's no fun in that.
Yeah, so
they are roadblock number 1.
Exactly. So it's going to be a bit of. It's not, we won't treat this as a super competitive thing. This is just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And we're sort of building this board, and it's with some great advice from Mr. Rains.
Oh, well, I mean, all we've done is we've double heightened these boards just to reinforce the fact that this is the only way out, and then we've got this massive, I guess, double door exit that leads to the outside. So obviously when you're outside, you're safe, which is great. But I foresee in this game that perhaps you're going to have units hanging back to tie stuff up to let other stuff go forward, and they're just going to get crushed under the kind of advancing wave of plasma destruction. It's going to be pretty wild.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Really looking forward to this one. I really hope you are too. We've tried to make the board as thematic as possible, so we're getting some really good long shots with the camera, some good photos, and then we'll obviously have this, this rubble going down and going forward. Who's going first?
White Scars are going first this time, so there's no need to seize. You won't get the hat trick. There's no reserves as well, just small points. So everything is on the board. There were scouts and infiltrates, but other than that, no reserves. So everything on the board, no spearhead. So White Scar turn 1. I think you want to seize?
It's worth giving it a try.
Yeah.
We might as well see if we go for 3 seizes in a campaign.
Let's have a look. Oh, it was close.
If I was a White Scar.
If you're a White Scar, you would have seen. There you go. You can learn some lessons. All right, that will be White Scar turn 1. Warlord for the White Scars, and the first of 2 HQ choices is a Legion Praetor. He is equipped with Artifice Armour, an Iron Halo, a Bolt Pistol, and a master-crafted Paragon Blade, and has also been given digital lasers. Second HQ choice is a Vigilator console. He's been given Artifice Armour, a Refractor Field, a Bolt Gun with Specialist Ammunition, a Bolt Pistol, and a Close Combat Weapon. First and second fast attack choices are identical. 2 5-man Seeker squads. The Strike Leader has been upgraded with Artifice Armour and a Combi Plasma. One other member of the Seeker squad has been upgraded with a Combi Plasma. The rest are equipped with bolt guns. First troops choice is a 15-man Breacher squad. The Sergeant has been upgraded with Artifice Armour, a Power Fist, and a Breacher Charge. The rest of the squad are equipped with bolt guns and Breacher shields. Second troops choice is a 13-man Tactical squad.
The Sergeant has been upgraded with Artificer Armour and a Lightning Claw, and the entire squad have been given additional close combat weapons. Third and final troops choice is a 5-man tactical support squad. They are equipped with Flamers.
Warlord for the Night Lords is a Praetor with a mastercrafted Paragon Blade, Artificer Armour, Iron Halo, Digital Lasers. First troops choice is a Veteran Tactical Squad. The Sergeant has been upgraded with Artificer Armour and an Ostraman Chainglaive. Second troops choice is a 6-man Terminator Squad. The Sergeant has got a Chain Fist and a Combi Weapon. 2 of the unit have got Lightning Claws and Combi Plazas, and 3 have Combi Bolters and Power Fists. First Elite's choice is a 5-man Destroyer Squad. They've been upgraded with the Rad Missile Launcher with Suspensor Web and Jump Packs. Second Elite's choice is a 10-man Terror Squad. They've all been upgraded with Volkite Chargers, and the Sergeant has Artificer Armour and an Ostraman Chainglaive. Finally, the last choice is a fast attack unit of 8 Night Raptors. 4 have got Power Axes, and the Sergeant has a Lightning Claw and Artificer Armour.
Before the start of turn 1, the White Scars Vigilator triggered his Sabotage attack. D6 hits, we chose the enemy Terminator squad. 2 hits, 2 wounds, but both were saved, unfortunately. White Scars turn 1 movement, and already it's the thinking man's game. Everything's moved up 6 inches, and we are out of range of the rockfall that will come in next turn, which is great. However, already a bit of a traffic jam. The tactical squad that was scouted forward by the Vigilator just moved forward 6. It's got a bit of cover from those pillars against anything that will come around the corner from the Night Lord's side. The Flamer squad moved up their full distance. We probably run them. Bit of a shame, but we need to move them out of the way of that Breacher squad. That's the main traffic jam, because if the Flamers get charged next turn, we're well aware that the Night Lords have some jump infantry. If they get charged next turn, they will hold up that squad, and then we might have the roofs coming on ahead. Both Seeker squads, just moving forward, they will probably also run. We'll try and take as much cover as we can. White Scars turn 1 shooting phase, tough decision all round, but we did run everything, so it's more like the running phase. The biggest decision was this Flamer squad right at the front. We decided to run and tuck ourselves just around the corner. We're fully expecting those Night Lords to come around the corner next turn and probably shoot and maybe charge us. But if that Flamer squad can tie up the Night Lords, then the Breachers behind can run, keep pushing forward. The Breacher squad ran a mighty 6. Master of the Vanguard really coming in helpful there, as we rolled a 6, -1 for the hardened armor, but +1 again for the Master of the Vanguard. The Seeker squad on the right ran a 5, and the one behind just ran a 3. And finally, the Tactical squad unfortunately only ran 2 inches, but just moving up the board a little further, which is great overall. No shooting, so we will be giving the initiative, as it were, to the Night Lords. But at the very least, we've made some good ground. The Tactical squad is almost halfway to the end of the table, but next turn, fully expecting to be quite nasty.
Night Lords, turn 1 movement. The Terror Marines decided to head towards the gateway to try and stop those Tactical Marines from sneaking out. The Night Raptors have jumped forwards. They've all passed their dangerous terrain tests, which is very pleasing, and they are ready to unleash hell. The Destroyer Marines have hopped over the Veteran Tactical Squad. They're hoping to maybe get some range with the Rad Missile. The Terminators have moved up 6. They're sticking to the outside, hoping to preserve some of their models till the end. And the Veteran Tacticals haven't been able to move their full distance, but they are still moving it up the board. Night Lords, turn 1 shooting. The Night Raptors are going to fire their bolt pistols at the Flamer Tactical Support Squad. 7 bolt pistols are in range, hitting on 3s. Not too bad. 4 hits, wounding on 4s. And that's nothing. For the second part of the shooting phase, the destroyers in the bottom left of the screen are taking a Rad Missile shot that's extremely obscured at the Tactical Marines at the top. We've put down the blast marker, scattered, it moved a little, but it's still going to be 4 hits, and that is Fleshbane, so wounding on 2s. All of those wound. It is AP3, but...
Yeah, we've discussed, and it's a really obscured shot, so it'll be a 4-up cover save for the Tactical Marines. Pass 3, that's really decent. So 1 Marine does die.
At the end of the Night Lord's shooting phase, the Tactical Veteran Squad has managed to run a little bit just to tighten up their formation. The Terminators have managed a big 5-inch run. They're storming up the board, and at the end, the Terra Marines got an extra 2 inches to kind of get around that corner, get better placed to challenge that Tactical Squad. Night Lord's turn 1 assault phase. The Night Raptors are in extremely close range of that Flamer support squad. They're going to make a charge, but first they have to, well, jet through the wall of flame that's going to come their way.
All right, yeah. Wall of Flames, we have 5 Flamers, 5 D3 auto hits on the Overwatch. Not too bad. So that is 1, 2, so that is 9 hits. Wounding on 4s. And these are template weapons. They do shred in Zone Mortalis, which is good because we only got 4 wounds. Well, still not that much better. 5 wounds overall. Full 3-up armor save.
5 hits on the Night Raptors, 2 at a time before we get to the Sergeant. So the first 2, pass both. The second 2, fail both.
Okay.
The last one is on the Sergeant. He's got Artificer armor, so I think I'm going to take it rather than look out, sir. And I pass. Though the Flamers managed to take out 2 of the Night Raptors, the charge is still 4 inches. Going to roll that. Make it on a 6. The Night Raptors have made the charge on 6 inches. Thanks to the newly added rule Raptor Strike, they get to use their jump pack in both the movement and the assault phase, meaning they get 6 Hammer of Wrath attacks. These are strength 4, wounding on 4s. That is 4 wounds.
Pretty great. Okay, 4 3-up armor saves at initiative 10. Ooh, all made. Okay. Initiative 4, the support squad will just throw their 6 attacks to get them out of the way. That's only 1 hit. It's about as well as we expected this combat to go. Force to wound. Well, there's a wounding hit. Let's see if we can kill 1 raptor.
1 save on the Night Raptors. It's passed. The Hunt Master, with his Lightning Claw, is going to lay into the Tactical Support Squad. He's weapon skill 5, and with talent for murder, meaning that we are outnumbering them, he's hitting on 2s. Amazingly, he managed to miss twice, but he's still got 2 hits. He's wounding on 3s, thanks to talent for murder, and re-rolling. That's 2 wounds, 2 dead white scars. Simultaneously, the 2 Night Raptors with chainswords are going to make their attacks. They've got 4 attacks on the charge, hitting on 2s. 1 miss, that means they've got 7 hits. They'll now be wounding on 3s. That's 4 more wounds for the white scars.
Ooh, okay, there's only 3 flamers left. We only fail 1, so 1 more dies.
At initiative step 1, the Night Raptors with axes are going to make their attacks. There's 3 of them, 12 attacks. They're going to be hitting on 2s, thanks to talent for murder. 2 misses, that's 10 hits. They are now wounding on 2s. That's actually 2 ones. That is 8 wounds. That is an extremely dead Tactical Support Squad. They consolidate 6 inches. End of Night Lord's turn 1. The Night Raptors have achieved an unsurprising success against the Tactical Support Squad, though losing 2 of their number. They've backed off, hopefully to preserve their lives in the face of overwhelming White Scar's firepower. Elsewhere, the rest of the Night Lords have moved up the board, which is good because at the start of the next turn, the table is going to be collapsing behind us.
White Scar's turn 2 movement, and at the start of the turn, the tunnel collapse has begun. So 6 inches in, this falling ceiling of rocks and stone and smoke has collapsed, and any units that were under there would have died, but luckily both of us managed to move out. The breach has moved up 6 inches. We'll probably not run them. We'll probably stand our ground because we know we're just going to get charged with the movement and mobility of those 2 jetpack infantry unit from the Night Lords. We're going to get charged, so we're going to stand our ground and we'll probably try a rapid fire. Further back, the tactical squad moved another 6, and they might either shoot or run, so they might shoot across the board at the enemy units, but we are well aware we have this terror squad coming around the corner at us from the start of the board, so we might run and push on, or we might shoot. And the 2 seeker squads, the one on the right here, will probably fire out at the Night Raptors again, see if we can kill the entire unit, or at least a lot of them, to reduce their effectiveness. And the second one might hunker down and hide behind that pillar, or it might run up slightly, or it might target somewhere else. We'll have a think and see.
White Scar's turn 2 shooting phase. Bit of a tough decision, but we decided the Seeker squad at the top of your screen there are going to fire into the Night Raptors at the bottom of your screen. They chose to fire the Tempest shells, so blast markers, a couple within range of rapid fire. And once we did all the scatters, we ended up with 14 hits. So these are strength 3, so 5s to wound, but we do have shred. So it's not a bad start. We have 4 wounds already. And then shred. Okay, yeah, not bad at all. Pick up another 5. So that is 9 wounding hits onto that Night Raptor unit.
The Night Raptors have the Huntmaster at the front of the unit. We're going to take the saves on his Artificer armor, which is a 2-up. 1 is passed. 2 is passed. 3 passed. 4 passed.
Ooh, there we go.
5th save is failed. The Huntmaster is dead. The 6th save was a failure, so the Huntmaster is dead. 3 more saves on the rest of the Night Raptors. 2 more failures. We've got 3 dead Night Raptors.
Next to fire, we have the Breacher squad. Bit of a tough decision. Was tempted to run them now that the Seeker squad did a good job on the Raptors. But we'd like to finish off the squad. We don't want anyone chasing us and tying us up in combat. So we will rapid fire all of our bolters. We're not going to charge later. One Raptor is out of line of sight, you can see just on the right there. So we won't finish the squad, but we might reduce them down to 1. We have 22 bolter shots. So I've got 11 in my hand, and we'll roll this twice. So let's start with, that's very good. So we drop 2. So that is 9 hits. And then with the second salvo, we drop 4. So that is 7 hits. 16 in total. And lastly, we have a bolt pistol from the Praetor hitting on a 2. Yeah, so that is 17 hits in total. It's wounding on 4s. Oh, that's not great. But not
Pretty good.
7 wounds out of 17 hits. 7 wounding hits, however.
As we've said, one of them won't die, but the other 2 might. Failed 1 save. 1 more Night Raptor is down.
A single Seeker from the second squad is in range to rapid fire his Kraken penetrating round. So 2 shots hitting on 2s. That is 2 hits. 4s to wound. Only 1 wound.
1 more save on the Night Raptors. Come on. No, it's failed. 1 more Night Raptor is dead.
We're done shooting at that Night Raptor squad. Can't see the last member, so he needs a leadership check for losing over 25%.
The standard Night Raptors have leadership 8, so that is a failure. He's going to fall back 3d6 towards the nearest open entrance, which is, fortunately for me, the end of the board. The Night Raptor has fleed 11 inches thanks to his jump pack and the Nostraman Blood special rule. This actually brings him within 1 inch of the Terror Squad, meaning that they have to take a morale check thanks to the Blind Panic special rule, which is specific to Zone Mortalis. Fortunately, they pass it.
Last in the shooting phase, the tactical squad couldn't really see anything, so we decided not to shoot. We ran, thanks to the Warlord trait from the Praetor, added an extra inch, and we ran a full 3 inches, just pushing towards that end escape. End of White Scar's turn 2, not bad overall. Almost wiping that Raptor squad and pushing them away was really great. We also are far away enough that the collapsing tunnel shouldn't affect us next turn 3 if it need be. However, we have this rather nasty concentration of Night Lords still. We sort of hold the middle, or at least our side of the middle, and we're pushing hard. However, we're fully aware that we've got some Terror Marines coming around the corner that will act as a bit of a doorstop, so we have a bit of a risk of being penned in whilst the Night Lords escape, but hopefully we can survive their counter punch and then push out and escape later in the game.
Night Lords, turn 2 movement. The single Raptor who'd started running away has actually rallied. He's steadying himself behind cover here. The Terror Squad has moved up to try and block the exit of the White Scars. They may be able to get a couple of shots onto that tactical squad that's moving up. In the middle of the board, the Destroyer Marines have advanced into the teeth of the Breachers. They're ready to possibly shoot the Breachers or maybe go after some softer looking targets. The Veterans are backing those up, and the Terminators, while still moving forwards, are going to take a few opportunistic shots. Night Lords, turn 2 shooting. Beginning with the Destroyer Marines, they're going to attack the Seekers, which are just behind the breaches. They've launched a rad missile from the missile launcher. We've done the scatter. It's still hitting 4 of the original squad and has actually clipped 1 Marine from the second Seeker squad. It's a Fleshbane attack. It means it's wounding on 2s, so 4 first. Sadly, I rolled 1-1. That is 3 wounds.
Okay, we've agreed there's intervening models, so 5 up cover save is all there is. No, so that is 3 Seekers dead in the first squad.
Resolving the hit on the second Seeker squad, 2s to wound. That's another wound, another save.
Okay, again, a 5 up intervening cover. No, so that squad loses 1 Marine. Slightly strange method of resolving it, but the closest model isn't the one on the left there behind the pillar. He was just behind that pillar, and it is a Combi Plasma Marine, so that is unfortunate for us.
Thanks to their success, the Destroyer Marines have managed to remove enough Seekers that they're now out of range of their bolt pistols. So moving on to the next squad. The Veteran Tactical Squad is going to fire their bolters into the Breacher Marines. 9 of them have a shot, and 7 of them are within rapid fire range, which is a total of 16 shots. Hitting on 3s, wounding on 4s. That's alright. 5 miss means 11 hits. Not the best, but 4 wounds on the Breacher Marines.
Alright, no characters, so there's 4 3-ups. Oh, passed. We're loving it.
The Terminator squad are going to shoot into the Breacher Marines, beginning with one of them who's in rapid fire range for his Combi Plasma. That is 1 hit, 1 miss, but no overheats. That's good. These are going to be wounding on 2s. It's another wound.
Okay, we're straight on to the Breacher Shield Invuln. However, Zone Mortalis Assault Force, we are in base to base, so we add +1 to that invulnerable save. So it goes from a 6 to a 5 up. Or not quite, so that is 1 Breacher dies.
Another of the Terminators is actually within rapid fire range with his Combi Bolter. So these are hitting on 3s and re-rolling. Got a 1, re-roll that. 2 hits. These are going to be wounding on 4s. 1 more wound.
Okay, 3 up armor save. Passed.
2 more Terminators with Combi Plas are going to just fire the bolt apart. These are hitting on 3s. That's 2 hits. 2 more Terminators going to fire their Combi Bolters. These are hitting on 3s but re-rolling. Re-roll the 2. 1 more hit. So 3 hits from the rest of the bolters. 4s. 2 wounds.
Okay, 2 3-ups. 1 more dies. That's 2 overall.
Rounding off the shooting phase is the Terror Marines. Looks like 6 of them are in range with their Volkite charges. That is 12 shots. These are hitting on 3s, but thanks to preferred enemy infantry, re-rolling the 1s. I'll throw that one in the thing. That's more 2s than I like to see. Re-roll the 1. That is 8 hits. These are wounding on 3s and re-rolling the 1s. 2 more 2s. That's never good. 1 re-roll. Right. That is 6 wounds on the White Scars.
Checking for sight lines, it's a bit crazy because we've got some scars behind pillars, some are visible, etc., etc. So we're going to do these 2 at a time. Easiest way to figure it out is the ones that are visible can die. So we'll do these 2 at a time until we get to the Sergeant. So 3-ups. Both passed, 3 and 4, 1 dies, 1 at a time, passed, and the last one fails. So that is 2 Tactical Marines go down. Deflagrate.
2 more to wound rolls. 1 more 2, but 1 more wound.
Okay, the Sergeant is closest, so we'll try and look out, sir. This passed, so a 3-up, passed. So 2 Tactical Marines die in total.
End of the Night Lord's shooting phase. The Seeker unit has taken over 25% casualties. They need to test for morale, which could be catastrophic.
Yeah, checking the blind panic rules, the Seekers, if they break, might run all the way down that corridor and force checks on 2 or 3 separate other White Sky units, which could be pretty bad. Leadership 9, however, okay, we're good on a 6.
End of Night Lord's turn 2. The shooting has not been as effective as we had liked. It would have been great to have broken or removed that Seeker squad. We've chipped away a couple of Breacher Marines. Head of the table is ready to deny any escape for the White Scars.
White Scars turn 3 movement, and the tunnel collapse at the start of the turn continues. It's now 12 inches onto the board, and the panel, the ceiling has come crashing in. Luckily, again, both of our units are escaped, but we have some pretty close ones.
We're only a few inches away, and next turn it will be right down on top of our heads. But even despite that, we've decided to move that breacher unit. We could have ran it further up and started moving towards the edge, but then we'd have these 3 really nasty units able to hit us in the flank. So we're going to use the strength of that breacher unit with the Praetor in. We're going to move forward, we're going to fire, and then probably charge that destroyer unit, putting us right in the middle. Means the Night Lords will either have to deal with us and stay behind, or run and allow us to flank behind them. In the same vein, the Seeker squad of 2 men have decided to move up behind the Breacher squad. They will level their plasma guns, possibly either at the destroyers or the Terminators further across. The second unit of 4 Seekers has moved up. A couple of them might try a sneaky shot into the Terror Marines, rounding that corner. And finally, the Tactical squad has moved up 6. They've come out from behind their cover, and they will likely Fury of the Legion, knowing full well the next turn they will be shot and charged by those Terror Marines. So the Vigilator's in there. He might be able to do some damage, and we'll see if we can peel them off with sheer weight of fire. White Scars turn 3 shooting, and we're going to start with the Breachers. We'll level their bolt pistols at the Destroyer squad right in front of them. We have 14 shots from the squad, hitting on 3s. We drop 6, and then we have a single shot from the Praetor BS5, so that hits. We then have 9 hits, so winning on 4s. Oh, that's quite good, actually. Only dropped 4, so that is 5 wounding hits.
5 wounds on the Destroyer Marines. The Sergeant's right at the back, so I'm just going to roll these all. Failed only 1. Sadly, that is the missile launcher. He's at the front of the squad.
The 2 Seekers will level their combi plasmas at the Terminator squad. We're just going to fire the 2 plasma now. No use waiting until we're in rapid fire range. So one at a time because of the overheat. So the Sergeant with his combi plasma, that is a hit. And the other Marine, that is a hit. So they do have preferred enemy. The Terminator squad was the Seeker, both Seeker squads marked for death unit. So this is winning on 2s, rerolling 1s. No need, so that is 2 AP2 wounds.
The Terminators are in Tartarus armor, so they get a 5-up invuln. Astoundingly, passed them both.
Double 6, lovely. Next up to fire the squad of 4 Seekers. Only 2 can see, but they're going to fire their Tempest rounds, so the blast round at the Terror Marines right at the end of the corridor. After Scatters worked out, it was 7 hits, so we are wounding on 5 to strength 3. Only 1 wound. Luckily, we have Shred for blast in Zone Mortalis. Wow, no more. So even with Shred, only 1 wound.
1 save on the Terror Marines, which is passed.
Last up, we have the Tactical squad with the Vigilator in. We are furying of the Legion at the Terror squad in front. We need to see if we can kill as many as possible. We started with the Vigilator. He fired the Tempest rounds. 4 hits after all the scatters were resolved. So 5 to wound. 2 wounds so far with Shred. Oh, double 1. Okay, so only 2 wounds.
2 saves for the Terror Marines. Failed both. 2 dead Marines.
Next up, again, a bit of a tricky one. Half the Tactical squad can see half the Terror squad and half can see all of them. So we're going to split these into 2. They are Furying of the Legion. So the first 4 are rapid firing, 16 shots, hitting on 3s. That's dropping 5. And then we are wounding on 4s. Only, oh, that was very good. Drop 1 and then, drop 4. Swift action for the 1 as we move full distance. So that is 8 wounding hits. These can only kill up to 4 Terror Marines, however.
The Terror Marine Chieftain is at the back of these 4, so I'm going to take these 3 at a time. Failed 2. 1 at a time. Passed. Passed. Failed. These last 2 are on the Chieftain. He has Artificer armor. I'm going to take these on a 2-up. Passes both.
Next up, we have the second half of the squad. They can see the rest of the Terror Marines, and they are firing 20 shots. I've got 10, so I'll roll this twice. Hitting on 3s. Oh, we'll drop 4. And 4s to wound. Only 2 wounding hits. That's unfortunate. And the second 10. Oh, wow. Drop 5 more. 4s to wound. Double 1, so that is swift action. Pick up 1 more, so only 5 wounding hits from all of those.
The Chieftain is the closest model. I'm going to take all of these saves on his Artificer armor, 1 at a time. Passed 1, passed 2,
Out the dice tray. Getting
Out the dice
excited.
tray. Pass 3.
Ooh.
Failed. The chieftain is dead, and the last save goes on to another Terra Marine. That is also a failure. The chieftain and 1 Terra Marine are removed.
That's the end of shooting for White Scars. The Terra Marines, having lost over half their squad, need to take a leadership check.
Terra Marines have a leadership of 9, and they pass comfortably.
White Scars turn 3 assault phase, and we are going to charge the destroyers with our Breacher squad. They have chosen not to reactionary fire, as it interferes with the counterattack special rule, so they just regular Overwatch.
They've each got 2 bolt pistols, so that's 8 shots, and we're looking for those 6s, which we don't get, sadly.
All right, it is a 3-inch charge, and we make it on an 8. Making the charge, at the start, the Praetor from the Scars issued a challenge which was accepted by the Destroyer's Sergeant. Striking at the highest initiative, the Praetor strikes first, 6 attacks on the charge with digital lasers, hitting on 3s. Wow, we don't even need Master Crafting. This might be enough. 3s to kill, 6s are instant death, but that is 5 dead Breachers. He doesn't even need any help. The Breacher squad, it just the Destroyer squad, is completely destroyed. At the end of that, the Breachers will consolidate 6 inches. End of White Scar's turn 3, and with that consolidate, we did just move straight backwards. We were tempted to push forward and block path on those 2 units for the Night Lords, but it would lock us all into place around here. As you can see, the collapsing tunnel is getting dangerously close. In fact, rather foolishly, this Seeker Sergeant is right over the line, and if he's not killed first, will die next turn. But the Breachers have moved back with an eye to moving towards that end of the board and to escape. Really good work by the Fury of the Legion to kill that, or thin out that Terror Squad so much. They didn't run, and they are really close to that objective, so they might head off, or they might come towards us, who knows. But really not bad at all overall. We've got quite a few bodies on the ground, and we have some movement possibilities, so we'll have to see what the Night Lords can bring in their next turn.
Night Lords, turn 3 movement. The Terra Marines are deciding that discretion is the better part of valor and are moving to get off the board. Hopefully with enough run move, they'll do it. The same goes for the Night Raptor, the lone survivor of his squad. Further back the board, the Praetor and the Terminator squad, they're moving up as well. They need to get clear, or at least try and stop some of those White Scar units getting out. Finally, the Veteran Tactical squad, at this point, isn't going to engage, but they're going to see if they can get a couple of shots on and maybe a cheeky kill on that Seeker squad. Starting turn 2 shooting of the Night Lords, ran both the Night Raptors and the Terra Marines off the board, both managed it very easily. That scores us 2 victory points. Next up for the Night Lords, the Veteran Tactical Squad are going to level their bolters into those 2 remaining Seekers. Hopefully we can deny a victory point to the White Scars. 5 of them are in rapid fire range, the rest are out of range. That gives us 15 shots and we're hitting on 3s. That's not my favourite roll. 7 misses means we've got 8 hits. Wounding on 4s, that gives us 4 saves for the White Scars to take.
All right. We'll see what we can look out, sir. The Sergeant would be nice to keep alive. So we look out, sir. Only 1. So 3 up armor save, passed. And then 1 at a time on the Sergeant. 2 up, passed. 3rd. Oh, he dies on the last shot, leaving 1 Seeker alive.
Finishing up the shooting phase, the Praetor and the Terminators made an attempt to run forwards, but were obviously hampered by their Terminator armor and only managed 2 inches. At the end of the phase, the remaining Seeker Marines got to take a morale check. He's lost more than 25% of his squad.
Yeah, 50%. Leadership 8, 7. We are passed.
End of turn 3, the Night Lords have managed to score 2 victory points with the 2 units we've got off the board, which is great. The Terminators and the Praetor and the Veterans are all we've got left. Hopefully we can try to make a bit of a mess of the White Scars' remaining units. Otherwise, we may just be playing catch-up.
Turn 4 movement phase, and the collapse of the tunnels has continued. It is coming in thick and fast now, and has collapsed some of the support structures, and the whole structure is going down. However, movement-wise, we started With the tactical squad, they moved up. They can't shoot this turn, so they'll probably run and will come face to face very soon with the Terminators, but they might be able to slow them down. The Breacher squad have reversed course slightly, and they're going to push towards the exit. They've now kind of realised they've done a good job at holding Night Lords in the middle, but they have quite a long way to go towards the end, and we only have 2 more turns of movement after this, so we'll see what we can do. The Seeker squad of 4 have moved down the side of the corridor to allow the Breachers to get all the way around. And finally, the Lone Seeker has decided to valiantly sell his life to possibly inflict some damage onto the veterans. It is a victory point, but I don't think we'll get him anywhere towards the end. And if he can fire his specialist ammunition and perhaps pick off a sergeant or kill a veteran Marine before the collapse comes in and takes him. Turn 4 shooting for the White Scars, and again, just a run phase, essentially. The tactical squad at the front ran a mighty 6 inches, rolled a 5, but the Master of the Vanguard trait from the Warlord in the Breacher unit applied, which is really fantastic. So we ran a mighty 6, and we decided to take cover behind these barrels. We have a really nasty Terminator squad coming up, and they do have some plasma weapons. The Vigilator just sort of shuffled around inside the unit. Next turn, if we're not in combat, he might detach and make a break for the exit, at least keep giving us 1 point. The Seeker squad rolled a 2, plus 1 for the Master of the Vanguard, so 3. And the Breachers rolled a 3, plus 1 for the Master of the Vanguard, minus 1 for hardened armor, so 3 overall. The only shooting of the turn is the Lone Seeker levels his bolter, specialist ammunition of a Scorpius bolt, 2 to hit. That is a hit. Unfortunately not a precision shot, otherwise we could have picked out the sergeant perhaps. But 3 to wound with strength 5, no need for the shred, and it is AP2, so the front one of those veterans dies. End of turn 4 for White Scars, not bad overall, inflicted a single casualty, no leadership check unfortunately. We have 3 units with potentially 5 victory points in that are 2/3 of the way along the board. If we're uninhibited and unimpeded, we might be able to get off, but I'm sure the Night Lords will do their best to impede us and possibly kill us later in the game.
Night Lords, turn 4 movement. The Terminators with the Praetor attached have moved up. They're going to try and deny the Tactical Squad and Vigilator from escaping. Meanwhile, the Veteran Squad, despite being sneakily sniped at by the single Seeker, are moving quickly up the board to also get off. Night Lords, turn 4 shooting. The Terminators are going to shoot at that Tactical Squad. Because we don't want to waste our precious combi plas, we're going to start with the combi bolters. 2 of the Terminators are in range to rapid fire, so they're going to get 4 shots. 1 Terminator is just out of range, but it's still a combi bolter, so that's 5 shots total, re-rolling any misses. 3s to hit. They all hit. The Praetor has a bolt pistol. He's hitting on 2s. That's 6 bolt pistol hits. Now we're looking for 4s to wound. That is 3 wounds, 3 saves for the White Scars.
That's about average. So 1 at a time before we get to the sergeant. 3 up. Failed straight away, so that kills the front Marine. The sergeant will try and look out, sir. So 4 ups, pass 1, fail 1. So 3 up on the rest of the squad, passed, and a 2 up on the sergeant, passed.
Next up from the Terminators, we've got 2 combi plasma shots, which are in range to rapid fire and don't give the White Scars a cover save. These are 3s to hit. That's 2 hits. These are 2s to kill. That is 2 wounds.
Okay, the sergeant is up front, so we're going to look out both of these. Oh, 1 out of the dice tray, we're overexcited. 1 passed, 1 failed. So the sergeant dies and the next Marine also dies.
End of the Night Lord shooting phase. The Terminators have managed to do over 25% casualties to the White Scars.
Leadership 9 on the Vigilator, big roll because we are right near the edge of the board. If we run off, we're destroyed and don't count scoring. So 9 or under. Whew, okay, good. 5.
Night Lords, turn 4 assault. The Terminators are going to make the charge into those tactical Marines who are stubbornly refusing to die.
Okay, it's a 6-inch charge. However, we have a reaction fire test. Let's see if we can pass one of these sometime in this campaign.
The answer is no.
No, okay, so it is 12 rapid-firing bolt guns into the Terminators. So it's 14 shots overall. We'll just mix the Vigilators in as well. Rapid firing. So hitting on 6s. 2 6s. Not the worst. Could have asked for better, but there we are. Wounding on 4s. No wounds. Okay, so it remains a 6-inch charge.
It's ideal. The Night Lords, amazingly, have rolled a double 1 for their charge distance. Super bummed that the Terminators did not manage that charge. That would have been great. It would have totally stopped the White Scars' escape. We'll have to see what turn 5 is going to hold for us. We think we may have a good chance, though, of stopping something from getting off this board.
White Scars turn 5 movement phase, and what a turn and what a game so far. The collapsing tunnel has now come halfway up the board. Our lone seeker right on the right there is now buried under a pile of rocks and debris, and the unit was destroyed. Not too bad though. It doesn't award the Night Lords anything. We are in a giant, what can be described as a blob now. Really lucky to survive that charge from the Terminators, or not be charged rather. The 6 tactical marines have just moved straight up. They will rapid fire and maybe charge. It's suicide, but we can hopefully delay that unit for a turn. The Vigilator has detached and is going to leave to bring word of the campaign to the wider campaign crusade forces, or anything as it were. So hopefully he can run off in the shooting phase. The Lone Seeker squad has moved forward. They might run, although their chosen target, mark for death target, was the Terminators, so they might shoot. And finally, the Breachers are kind of hemmed in, so they might also just shoot rather than run. If we get an extra turn next turn, we might be able to make it off. So we'll have to see what happens later in the game. White Scars turn 5 started the shooting phase. The Vigilator ran. Mighty 5, but only needed 1 and got off the board. So that is 1 victory point in the bag for the White Scars, and our Vigilator escapes to bring word of the obviously impending White Scars victory. Starting with the Seekers, bit of a decision what special ammunition to use. We're going to use the Kraken shells just because we get to rapid fire. The blasts wouldn't really help as they're quite spread out. So we have 6 shots, rapid fire, hitting on 2s. They all hit, and then wounding on 4s. That is 4 wounding hits and a 1. That is their marked for death target. So preferred enemy, reroll the 1. No, so 4 wounding hits. However, you get your full armor save.
The Night Lords Terminators have to take these 2 at a time before they get to the Praetor. So 2 up. Past 2. 2 more. Past those 2 as well.
Last up, we have the final remaining combi plasma that hasn't been fired. We'll shoot into the Terminators as well. Hits. Wounding on a 2. That is a wound.
We get a 5 up Invan. It's passed. Yes.
There we go. Next up, the Breacher squad. The ones that can see will rapid fire their bolt guns into the Terminators. We'll see if we can drop at least one of these. 16 in range, or 16 shots are in range rather, hitting on 3s. Ooh, that's not great.
I disagree.
Drop 6, so 11 hits. 4s to wound. Okay, a couple of 2s. The whole unit did move their full action, so swift action does allow us to reroll the 1s to wound. That's quite good. That is 3, 6, 7 wounding hits.
7 wounds on the Terminators. We're going to have to take these 2 at a time again. Past the first 2. Past the second 2. Past the third 2. And 1 more for luck is passed as well. Nice.
Last up, we have the sole 6 remaining tactical marines. Really tough decision here. We're tempted to fire bolt pistols and then charge and tie up that unit for a turn. There's only 6 tactical marines, however, not even a sergeant. And the Overwatch combined with the fact there's a Praetor in that unit, I'm pretty sure they would die. So they're going to be using themselves as a shield to block access to the units behind them, and instead they will just shoot into the Terminators, rapid firing their bolt guns, 12 shots. That's not great. So that is only 5 hits, and then 4s to wound. Only 2 wounding hits from 12.
2 saves on the Terminators. Passed them both.
I love it. End of White Scars turn 5, and that is our penultimate turn done. We have 1 more, no variable game length. However,
I think next turn's going to be really telling. If those Terminators can crash in and chop their way through a decent amount of units or bodies, we're probably in trouble. We are behind on victory points, but we have more units on the board. So we need to shepherd our resources till turn 6 and then escape from this collapsing facility.
Night Lords, turn 5 movement. The Terminator squad is moving up to close the jaws of the trap on these White Scars. Hopefully we may be able to squeeze them out here. Going to put a few shots into possibly those Seekers or maybe the tactical squad. The Praetor is actually going to detach from the Terminators and has joined the Veteran squad, who are preparing themselves to charge into that tactical squad. Night Lords, turn 5 shooting. The Terminator squad is going to level their combi bolters into the Seeker squads. They've got 8 shots, 4 of them get to re-roll. Thankfully, I get to re-roll those 2 ones, so it's 2 hits and 2 more. The other 4, that's 1 more 1, but that is 7 hits overall. That's great. Now we're looking for 4s to wound. That's not too bad. That is 4 wounds on the Seekers.
Okay.
4 wounds on the Seekers.
1 Seeker before we get to the Sergeant Artificer, so 3 ups, 1 at a time. Pass, second pass, third pass, fourth pass. He's loving it.
Disappointing for the Night Lords, but next up is the Veterans. They're going to put their bolt pistols into that cheeky tactical squad. 6 shots, plus 1 for the Praetor. We're looking for 3s. Okay, all 6 hit, and the Praetors also hits. So that's 7 hits. Now we're looking for 4s. That's 4 hits on that tactical squad.
Okay.
4 wounds on that tactical squad.
4 wounds, no sergeant or anything, so 3 ups. Fail 1, not bad.
Turn 5, assault phase for the Night Lords. The Veteran squad is going to charge that tactical squad. Right now, it's 2-inch charge, but the unit's pretty strung out, so if we lose any to Overwatch, we might be finding ourselves having to run further than we think.
Okay, let's see if we can pass one of these reaction fire tests. 4 or under.
Yes.
I think that's the 5th or 6th 5 I've rolled for that all campaign, but oh well. 10 shots, rapid firing bolt guns. That is no hits. Wow, okay. These White Scars are good at shooting, but no good at Overwatch, clearly.
That's ideal for us. The Night Lords are going to make the charge. We're looking for something pretty big, because that's going to allow us to move up the board. Great, that's a 9-inch charge. Comfortably making the charge. The Veterans and the Praetor are piling into those Tactical Marines. Praetor gets to go first at Initiative 5. He's got 6 attacks, and thanks to Talent for Murder, he's going to be hitting on 2s, and he gets to reroll 1 of those, and then he's going to be wounding on 2s. 6 dice. Thanks for the Master Crafting, we reroll 1 of these. So that is 6 hits. Let's see if we wound. That is 6 wounds, that is 6 dead Tactical Marines. The whole unit's gone. That's really great for the Night Lords. We're looking for a good consolidate roll here that will allow us to space ourselves out even more. Sadly, it's a 3. End of turn 5. That's a pretty good round for the Night Lords. We've managed to get rid of that pesky tactical squad, and we moved up in a pretty good space to threaten the rest of the White Scars. Let's see what the last turn holds.
White Scars turned 6, and what a game it's been. The structural collapse continues, and now over half the board is completely impassable. Luckily, again, all our models are away, but we've been shepherded into this tiny corner of the board, and this is where the victory will be decided. The Breacher Marines with the Praetorian have just moved up, and they know they can't, they don't have the room or the distance to get towards the edge of the board, so they're going to rack up, fire their bolt pistols, and then charge the enemy Veteran squad. It's going to be a Praetor off, and we're going to go for that Warlord secondary for an extra point. The Seekers have just moved behind the Breachers towards that board edge. As long as they don't get a 1 on their run move, they will be able to escape and earn another victory point, and then we'll be very, very closely tied. It will all come down to a few key rolls. White Scars turn 6 shooting, and to start with, the Seeker squad ran, rolled a 3, +1 for Master of the Vanguard from the Praetor, but we only needed a 2, and we escaped off the board, earning us another victory point, which is fantastic. We are now left with 3 units on the board, and that is it, and 2 Praetors staring each other down. Next in the shooting phase, the only shooting to go on is the Breacher squad are going to fire all their bolt pistols into that Veteran squad, so we can bring down 1 or 2. So we have 12 hitting on 3s from the Breachers, and 1 from the Praetor hitting on 2. So the 12
That is a lot of 1s and 2s. Well, not too bad. We dropped 5, and the Praetors, hits. So that is 8 hits, 4s to wound. No swift action, unfortunately, so 4 wounds dealt to the veterans.
The veterans have got 3 models in the squad before we get to the sergeant or the praetor, so we're going to take these 3 at a time. That is 2 failures. 2 veterans are dead, and 1 more save on a free up. Passed.
Turn 6 assault phase, and we are charging those breaches into the veteran squad. We're going to go for a warlord kill. I can feel it in my bones. It's only a 3-inch charge, but we have Overwatch to suffer first, so the Night Lords will get a reaction fire. See if they can do a bit better than us.
Let's see if one of us can pass a reaction fire in this entire campaign. And it's passed!
Hey.
There are 7 veterans remaining. They get to rapid fire their bolters into the breaches. We're looking for 3s. That's pretty decent. Only 3 misses. We've got 11 hits. We're looking for 4s to wound. I quite like that. That's 4 failures to wound, but that is 7 saves for the Breacher Marines. We also have a Praetor. He's going to be hitting on 2s with his bolt pistol, so it's a hit, and wounding on 4s. And a wound. 8 saves for the Breachers.
Right. Okay, we have 3 Marines before we get to the Sergeant in the squad, so 3 at a time. 3 ups. Wow, okay, all fail. So 3 Breachers dead. Look out, sirs. Do all of them. Okay, so the Sergeant fails 4. Do the one that went through to the regular Breachers. Passed. So 3 dead so far. Sergeant, 2 up Artificer. Dead straight away, so the Sergeant's dead, and then the rest of the things, 2 more die. That is probably the best round of Overwatch we've had all campaign. That is the Sergeant and 5 Breacher Marines die in the Overwatch. Losing the entire front rank of our Breacher unit there meant our 2-inch charge is now 4. Hopefully we can still make it. Okay, comfortably. We're not quite following in the Night Lord's tracks that way. Making it into combat. At the start, we do need to take a fear check against the Night Lords. So leadership 10. Oh, 9. We're good though. The White Scars Praetor issued a challenge, and the Night Lords did their standard thing, and the Praetor sent his subordinate to die. So the Sergeant of the veterans accepted the challenge from the Praetor. So the 2 Praetors do strike at initiative 5. We'll roll the White Scars first. 6 attacks on the charge. 1 miss, that's pretty great. Mastercrafted on the Paragon Blade, still a miss, however. So 5 hits, 3s to kill. No swift action, really unfortunate, but that is 3 kills onto the veteran Marines, so that kills the Sergeant and 2 veteran Marines.
Also striking at initiative 5 is the Night Lord's Praetor. He's pretty pleased with himself after pushing his faceless goon into the White Scars path. He gets to make 5 attacks. He's going to be hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1 of those if it misses. That's great. We've got 1 miss. We get to re-roll that with the Mastercrafted weapon. And that's 1 more hit. So that is 5 hits. We're going to be wounding on 3s. Oof. That's not so great. 3 failures to wound, so that's 2 wounds on the Breachers.
Okay, their Breacher shields give them a 5 up in combat, but we are a Zone Mortalis Assault Force attacker. The entire squad isn't base to base, so that bumps up by 1 to a 4 up in combat. So 2 4 up in vulnerable saves. That is a fail, it looks like. Yeah, so 1 pass, 1 fail, 1 Breacher Marine does die.
At the next initiative step of the assault, the veterans and the Breachers are going to attack simultaneously. We're going to start with the veterans. They've got 12 attacks, and they are weapon masters, so they'll be hitting on 3s.
Wow.
That's a pretty great roll. Only 1 of those didn't go through. Now we're going to be wounding on 4s. That's less great. That is a lot of 1s and 2 for us. We've got 3 wounds on the Breachers.
Okay, might still do it. Who knows? 3 up armor saves. Well, we drop 1. Striking back at initiative 4 before that Breacher dies, we have 12 attacks on the charge, hitting on 4s. Oh, not bad. We drop 5, and then we are wounding on 4s. Wow, really good. Only dropped 2. That is 5 wounding hits.
We've got 3 models in the Night Lords before they get to the Praetor, so we're going to take these on 3s. That's 3 passed and 2 more saves, also on 3s. 1 failure, so that's 1 more Night Lord dead.
End of turn 6 for the White Scars, and that is all we have. Most of the map is ruined and smoking. We have 1 last melee right in the middle here to figure out. We did pretty well. The Overwatch was horrific, but cutting through that squad was great.
It means that we won't get that squad off the board. They are then stuck there and lost for all intents and purposes for VPs, but then we are holding the enemy warlord and another squad in place as well. The only thing to see is whether that Terminator squad rallies and goes to the aid of their warlord, or heads off the board and scores himself a VP. On to the last turn of the game.
Night Lords, turn 6, movement and shooting. After some rough guesstimating, we think our best chance is to get rid of that White Scars Praetor with his squad of Breacher Marines. The Terminators have to rally to protect their lord and are massing themselves for a charge. Night Lords, turn 6, assault. Rushing in to seal the gap, those Terminators have charged. They easily made the distance, and the Night Lords have issued a new challenge. The Praetor, having seen the failure of his subordinate, is stepping up to face the White Scar.
The White Scar Praetor accepted, so we have a Praetor off in the very last turn of the game. We're striking simultaneously at initiative 5. Night Lords player turn, so we'll let the Night Lords strike first.
Thanks to the new Terminator reinforcements, the Night Lords do manage to get talent for murder, which means that the Night Lord Praetor is going to be hitting on 3s. Re-rolling 1 miss. 1 bounced out.
Ooh, don't
that
need the reroll.
is 5 hits. With the Paragon Blade and talent for murder, the Night Lord Praetor is going to be wounding on 2s, and any 6s will be instant death.
Ooh.
We've got 1 6. So take that first, please.
Okay, an instant death. 4 up Iron Halo, or otherwise he dies. Okay, no, there we go. He's just dead straight away. The other 4 will fall onto the Breacher squad. 4 up invuns for them as well, thanks to the Mortalis Assault Force. Fail all of those. So our invuns are finally gone. That will kill 4 Breachers as well. So this is looking like a Night Lord victory. But striking back at the same initiative. Come on, let's see if our Praetor can do the same thing. Hitting on 5 attacks, hitting on 4s. Okay, only 2 hits rather. Mastercrafted for 1. Yep, 3 hits. And then wounding on 3s with the Paragon Blade. That is 1 murderous strike. Yeah, take the murderous strike first. Let's see if we can murderous strike each other.
All right, murderous strike first. Iron Halo save is a 4 up. And it's failed. The Night Lord Praetor is taken down. The remaining 2 wounds are on the veterans. They get no save, so they're dead. At initiative step 4, the lone remaining veteran steps up to fight the 2 remaining breachers, and one of the Terminators has a lightning claw. He's pushing forwards. He's got 2 attacks base and +1 for charging. Thanks to talent for murder, he'll be hitting on 3s. That's 3 hits. It's a lightning claw, and with talent for murder, he's going to be winning on 3s and re-rolling if he fails. Doesn't need it. That's 3 saves for the breachers.
Okay, cuts through their 3 up armor. 4 up invun. 2 fail. That wipes the Breacher squad and the last remaining White Scars. They will get to strike back before they die, however. Initiative 4. We'll put our attacks into the veterans, see if we can kill a squad just for fun. 2 attacks, hitting on 4, so pretty good.
2 hits.
4s to wound. 2 wounds.
2 wounds.
There we go.
2 saves on the lone veteran. Pass them both.
It wasn't meant to be.
It was close. End of the game and an end for the campaign. The Terminators and the lone veteran are the last survivors walking out of the broken building. Left behind them is the pile of dead, and the Night Lords look like they're in charge of the field. We're not sure who's won yet. We're going to count that up and get back to you.
What an amazing end to that game. We had a double KO from both the HQs. Unbelievable.
Madness.
Pretty excellent. Couldn't have planned it better, really.
Yeah, it's kind of a reflection of how tight it was throughout the rest of the campaign, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so you had a couple of units made off the board each. You know, you've got this complex just smashing down around you. Luckily, only 1 Scar got caught up in it.
Yeah, he sacrificed himself bravely and got squished by the rocks, but he made his presence felt. So, yeah, it made us move up, as we sort of said in the game. At the last turn, we were in that sort of almost a 2 foot by 1 foot board, effectively. It was all there was left. So it was really interesting to make us push, because if that wasn't happening, I think we probably would have been really cautious. We probably wouldn't have done very much other than maybe like sidle out of our deployment zone really carefully and then try to get a drop on each other for that shoot and charge. But yeah, really interesting and really fun. It was just so much fun, like putting all this rock and terrain down.
I mean, I definitely think without the collapses, we would have been going for like turn 1 massive melees. We'd be brawling down here, but with the rock, like you just can't risk it. You've got to keep going, and it was great.
Awesome.
I think the thing is, if you duplicate this scenario at home, you don't have to use rock and rubble and stuff. You could just use like a blue line or something. However, that's great, but when you see physically the roof falling down, you've got all this rock and all this rubble, you think, well, actually, I probably need to move forward. And I think it really encourages you to go. It's just a physical representation. So really dynamic scenario. So amazing. There are some victory points involved here, and it is super tight. So Julian, what's the deal?
Yeah, so it was really close. Both the White Scars and the Night Lords managed to get 2 units off the board.
Yep.
The White Scars got some Seekers and the Vigilator.
Yep.
The Night Lords got a single Night Raptor and 3 Terra Marines.
Wow.
But relatively correctly realised had to pull back. We had to get those Warlord kills if we had any chance of winning.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, both of our Warlords killed each other, so each of us got a Warlord kill. So
3 apiece.
3 VPs aside, but we did say at the start that we'd be using the Zone Mortalis special rule, which is called attrition. All it means is that in the case of any tie, the side that killed the most units wins, which in this case is the Night Lords, who managed to actually achieve a pretty substantial tally.
I think mostly from that last melee. It just it was all really close and really deadly, and then suddenly all fell apart at the end. It was because you managed to pass the reaction fire check. I think we probably make the channel.
Is that the only one that we've passed?
Possibly channel record for the amount of failed reaction fire checks throughout the entire campaign. It was pretty incredible. Hey, it's not meant to be, but it's so much fun and really, really tight. So yeah, 2 games. The Night Lords won to the Scars in the end.
Yeah, it was a fantastic end to this little 3-parter. It was really good. And again, we've discussed this so many times. These small games escalate really quickly. And look how much fun we've had over the last 3 games with, to be fair, relatively small points. But it's just been full of fun the whole way through. Now, if you would like to duplicate these 3 scenarios at home using your own terrain and your own Zone Mortalis table, these 2 gents have made an amazing pack and will be available on the Facebook page for you guys to enjoy. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, we have just our own sort of personal blog as well, JANUSSENS'S.com. It'll be in the description and that sort of jazz. Packs up on there along with some other campaign things we did in the past. So free campaign stuff if you want it, resources. Have a look, see what we're doing. It's also just sort of a hobby blog as well. You can ask us questions. Got our personal social media on there as well. But yeah, just sort of progress. That's JANUSSEN'S Hope is that's what this campaign has been about. It's what we recreated. We've done some Centurion campaigns under the same umbrella, sort of a shared universe almost. So that's what this was a little snapshot of. But yeah, you can go have a look at that. It's Heresy almost entirely. But yeah, that's what this has done.
Good. And if you do duplicate at home, please tag myself in and Boris and the JANUSSEN'S Hope, and we'd love to have a look and see what you come up with. If you've duplicated the rocks and the rubble and the big corridor that we've produced here today, I would love to see it, just to see how you guys are getting on out there. That, sadly, is the last game to be filmed in the UK. For me, it's not real, but apparently it's happening in a week's time, so who knows. But I think it was a fantastic end, and I think games like this that Boris and Julian have come up with just absolutely reinforce the ethos of the channel. Boards, models, players, and then the whole narrative that runs all the way through it. So I think it was an absolute perfect end to the last game.
It was great. Thank you for allowing us. The great honour of being.
It's
I'm going to do a very dangerous thing and speak for the heresy community at large. Say thank you for the general content for the UK. It's been it's been the best throughout the year we've done stuff. Wow. The best heresy games I've ever played, easily, and will be for a long time until I come visit you in New Zealand.
Well,
I have 5k of White Scars, and it's been a long, slow, torturous process, as some of you might know, and these guys know, of painting up all this stuff. So
they'll all be Breacher Marines.
They'll all be Breacher Marines. Yeah, I love Breacher Marines for White Scars. They're great. But yes, it's been amazing. Thank you.
Well, thank you. I've got Boris to thank as well, because him and I have been playing games for a little while now to get content out for you guys, and you've really done us a solid, because if it wasn't for Boris, you'd probably have no content. It would just be me talking about terrain, and let's face it, that's not very exciting. But also to Julian. Julian is a fantastic wordsmith, and he's put some amazing stories that kind of, he gets an email from me or a message from me saying, oh, we've done this and this, and I need something to talk about that. And he goes, all right, I'll come back to you. And then you get this amazing story that kind of sets the scene before the game plays. So Julian, thank you so much.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
All right, that is it for the UK. I will see you in New Zealand next time. Gents, thank you once again.
Thank you.
And I will see you very soon.